The Wilderness Within You, Day 10 of Lent, which is Friday of week 2. Our reading is from Mark 8, 31 to 38, and I'm reading from the NIV. He then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed, and after 3 days rise again. He spoke plainly about this, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But when Jesus turned and looked at his disciples, he rebuked Peter. "Get behind me, Satan," he said. "You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Then he called the crowd to him along with his disciples and said, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me and for the gospel will save it. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? If anyone is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will be ashamed of them when he comes in his Father's glory with the holy angels." I've been badgering him to tell me more about this giving up everything. What does it mean? Is it like radical communism or voluntary homelessness? Will I still be able to have earrings and follow Jesus? Have I had my last cappuccino at Starbucks, or is there hope? "Whoa," he says, "slow down." We're sitting on the beach in the lee of the groyne, tattered with bright green weed, sheltering from the wind. I've been hurling pebbles in agitation toward the sea, but I stop now and turn towards him. I need to know about this. I have to understand what is real, what was meant, what is possible. For a while, as I watch him, he just sits looking out across the ocean, gazing at the heaving grey-green waves and the line of light that rims the far horizon. Something in his stillness carries over to me. As I look at him, I notice my tension and anxiety, and my breath sighs out of me, letting it go. For a moment I feel the wind against my face, so keen and alive. Feel the curve of my body huddled there. Feel the life in my hands, my feet, all of me. I come back from my turmoiling questions to just be here, as he is here, apparently at peace. And then he begins to explain it to me. He says, "We are made in the image of God, and God is I am that I am. Present presence." He says, God is not defined by anything or identified with anything. He just is. And in this totality of being, he creates. Do I understand? No, I say. He smiles. Well, he says, we have this way of losing ourselves in what we desire. Like, if I am thin, I will be beautiful. And if I am beautiful, I will be attractive. And if I am attractive, I will be loved. Or maybe we want to be clever and admired. So instead of listening to a conversation, we sit thinking up smart things to say, just waiting our turn to prove our intelligence. Or else we think, if we can have a bigger house, a more modern car, a faster computer, life will be so much better. We go into debt, running after the things that will make us happy, and then conclude what will make us happy now is more money. And all the time, we're trying to put together a life from what's out there, overlooking completely that life is in here, inside. We are already made in the image of God. In leaving that to go out of ourselves after things we hope will validate us and give us worth and substance and kudos, we lose touch with the essential vitality of being which we have been given as our birthright. By chasing after life out there, we run away from life in here. But life isn't out there, it's in here or nowhere at all. Once you know that, once you really see that you are made in the image of God, I am that I am, all that stuff out there loses its hold on you. You wake up to the realization that everything you wanted, love, happiness, freedom, truth, peace, is inside, not outside. It is already given. You just have to take hold of it and unpack it and act on it. The thing is, he says, turning his head to look at me, giving up everything sounds like a terrible loss. I know it does. But hanging on to it all is like clutching the chocolate wrapper and throwing away the chocolate. The sweetness of life is not outside you, whether in possessions or in the good opinion of others, or being right, or being clever, or beautiful, or rich. Going after those is only chasing the wind. But the tragedy is not in the waste of time, it's in what you could have had instead. The richness and wonder of being who you really are, a reflection of God. I think about this. It sounds too good to be true. So it's not hard then, this giving up everything. I can't keep the incredulity out of my voice. It's hard if you try to force it, he says, picking a pebble up and cupping it gently in his hand. But as soon as you see things for what they are, it's just obvious.